minor example for me. I wouldn't say I was in a huge amount of pain from this or anything, but it did affect me a little bit. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see. If you're listening, you can't. I'm a pretty big bloke. Weigh 100 kilos, which is probably about 15 and a half stone-ish. I don't know how much it is in stone. I weigh about 100 kilos or 98, 99. And I'm about 6'1". So I'm quite heavy. I'm quite a big boy. Wasn't always. As a teenager, I was quite slim. Or I was very slim. I was a bit of a beanpole as a teenager. Until I hit the age of about 16. And then between the ages of 16 and I guess maybe 18, 19, I put on a lot of weight. And you could argue that's for a number of reasons. But it all started because I fell in love with a girl who worked in a chip shop. I like my fish and chips anyway. But I used to go to a fish and chip shop near where I lived, and there was a girl who worked in there. I think she was a year older than me. I think she was 17. And she was lovely. I fancied her an awful lot. And I didn't know how to express it. I couldn't tell her. I didn't feel I could ask to see her outside of the chip shop. So my only interaction with her was when I went into the chip shop. So what I did is I started eating more fish and chips because I wanted to see her. It got to the point I was pretty much eating fish and chips like 3 times a week. And when you're slim and your body's not expecting it, and you suddenly start loading fish and chips into it 3 times a week, probably with a can of Coke and curry sauce as well, I'm not going to lie, you get fat, and that's what happened to me. I basically got fat in the name of love. That's what happened to me. And I wouldn't have done that if the love purge would have been there, if the I love you purge would have been there. I would have been able to tell that girl that I love her, and as a result would have either got shot down or been able to see her outside the chip shop, and everything would have been great. Look, I realise that you might think potentially you could have just grown some bollocks and asked her and not been such a fucking weirdo going into the same chip shop 3 times a week, but I was young and I didn't know what to do. So look, it didn't work anyway, and I never saw her again outside the chip shop. I don't really know what happened in the end, but I think maybe I just got over it, or I don't know, met somebody else. But I was eating fish and chips like 3 times a week because I like this girl. And had I been able to just tell her that I love her, I potentially wouldn't have got so fat. And that is, probably one of the best examples of somebody blaming their own fatness on something else rather than their own addiction to food. But it's the truth.